Hi everyone, welcome to the channel dedicated to sharing the profound insights and wisdom of Andromedan contactee Alex Collier. If you're new here, you're in for a journey that expands your mind and consciousness, bringing you closer to understanding the messages from the fifth density Andromedan extraterrestrials. For those returning, we're grateful for your continued support. Before we dive into today's enlightening content, we have a small favor to ask. If you find value in the knowledge shared in this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us amplify Alex Collier's message, allowing us to reach a larger audience with these vital messages. We'd also love to hear from you, so please engage with the comments below. Whether it's a question, your thoughts, or even just an emoji for the sake of engagement, every comment counts. We read every single comment, and your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, as it all contributes to our mission of expanding this community. So please don't hesitate to leave your thoughts below. Additionally, if you'd like to support us further, consider giving a super thanks tip by clicking the heart with the $sign. This small gesture allows us to continue bringing you more of Alex's messages, unfiltered and directly from his lifelong experiences with the Andromedans. Today's video includes a compilation of several of the many important questions Alex Collier has received over the past few years, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video.
Can you give us the proper sequence of events? Currency reset, galactic plane, Planet X, Second Coming, World War III, disclosure? Is there a kind of order of these things? Is it ticking off the list? What's the, or is it a random dealing?
And I only got 2.5 minutes to do that. I got 2.5.
Yeah, in a nutshell. No pressure, Alex.
That is not fair. That's not fair. Oh my God.
All right, let's narrow it down. How about what's being and what's coming in now? As we're moving, because we're already started.
Let's take the RV out of the equation, because money's not real. Okay, it's a belief system, and yes, it would help, but it's not real. So let's just take that out of the equation. Okay, for the moment, because it's still an absolute unknown at this point anymore. As far as a probable scenario, and the Schumann resonance continues, many of our younger people begin to walk in and out of fourth density, some maybe even going to fifth and coming back. They share their stories, like many children who have near-death experiences have done already. Okay, we start to pay attention. We now, as a consciousness, as a group consciousness of human beings, begin to focus on fourth and fifth density and the reality of it, therefore creating a bridge, an energetic bridge to those places. Okay, so that we can move ourselves back and forth. Now that we're thinking about it, now that we know, we believe that it's real, and we've created an energetic bridge, more and more people will then begin to see it themselves and move in and out, moving forward. At some point, we will have some benevolent intervention that will come in from behind us, and what they will do is they will separate us from the regressives once and for all. Now, it really isn't so much to protect us, because we're on our way. We are creating the link and the bridges ourselves, and we did that, okay? But what it does is it makes sure that the regressives do not attach or hold on to us any further, and therefore they can be rounded up and dealt with once and for all. And this is what they're terrified about, okay? Because now their food source, their energy source of existence, which is us, we're gone. We're in another dimension. We're out of here, okay? And this is why I say to the answer that was, earlier, what happens to them? They're screwed. They're screwed. And it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch, frankly, okay? That's the probable scenario. I don't have a date. I don't have a date. We'll just have to see. But that's very likely what's going to happen. Okay, and we will and that probable scenario does several things. It empowers humanity to come together. It empowers humanity to change its perspective as to multiple different races to one race, regardless of race, color, or creed. Okay, we are now a family and we move together. Okay, except for those who simply choose not to move into the light and stick with the dark ones. But I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you get a clue and you dump those dudes because they're toast. They are absolutely going to be toast at some point. Okay? They are. And they have it coming. They absolutely have it coming. So, as you can tell, I have no empathy about that. And I don't.
It's been a while.
Okay. I'm not hiding it at all.
2003 was the deadline for all non-Terrans to get off planet Earth. 14 years later, and the New World Order is being pursued. What are the consequences for those who have stayed beyond this deadline, both good and bad?
Okay, well, let's just deal with the bad because that's where the real consequences are. They're screwed. They are totally screwed. And I don't know how else to say it. There is no way to sugarcoat it. What they have done to our humanity, what they have continued to do, because there was an agreement that they were going to leave, and then they chose not to. So they reneged. They're screwed. They now have no way out of here except to experience something very horrible. And again, that's of their own making. For the good, they have had to persevere and deal with a very, very tough environment known as third density Earth. I don't know if those are boots on the ground that were here in 2003 or before are still here. I would think that many of them would have a very, very, very difficult time with the frequency of Earth as it went up and then it goes down. It's gone up a little bit and then it's completely tanked. And now it's trying to rise again. And now the regressives come in and they're trying to tank the vibration one more time, the final time. So I would think, coming from a higher frequency, that this would be an incredibly difficult environment for them. But nonetheless, having experienced that themselves, I would think that their compassion for humanity has only grown. Because, folks, we live this shit every day. We do. The control, the manipulation, the deceit, the chemical poisoning, the brainwashing, the false narratives, the fake religions. We live these scenarios every single day. And we somehow try to figure it out and survive and do the best that we can for our families and ourselves. So I think that on one level, there's great admiration and great empathy for our plight and our journey. But I also think that there has to be some bewilderment because maybe they're thinking, why don't these folks get this yet? Why haven't they seen the truth of what's really going on? Why is it that so many are so quick to continue to surrender their power and self-empowerment to this thing? that we live under, this matrix. So I know Visayas was always bewildered by that, always.
Do you still get beamed on board physically? And in the past, you've mentioned them dropping you off periodically with a scout craft. Do they have to lower themselves to third density? Or are you and the ships invisible to third density people?
They have to come into third density in order to take me out of third density. Now, they can come in and materialize a very small space, even though the size of their craft is huge. Okay, but they have to come into third density. And things are pretty hot out there right now. They are really, really hot. So that's all I'm going to say.
So you can't really say anything much more about the current stat of the solar system?
It's just it's a chess game. But if you were to look at the gauge, if you were to go 20 years ago at the Earth, and you were to go 10 years to the Earth, the surface, and you're to go 5 years back, and you look at where things are right now, how things truly appear to be unraveling, how social structures seem to be collapsing, how lies and deceit and all kinds of different historical perspectives that we were fed are absolute lies, and now they're being exposed. Do I actually even really have to answer that question? Obviously, things are progressing in a positive way. It just doesn't maybe appear it to us because you can't build something new until you destroy the old, because they're always going to clash with each other. Here's a perfect example, something everybody can relate to: Obamacare. Okay, it was designed to fail. Even Obama himself has admitted this. Even the guy who created Obamacare for the administration admitted that it was built to fail so that we could go to a single payer system so that the government can control all healthcare. So they built this system to collapse so that they could put another system in its place of absolute control over everyone and everything that they do as far as medical. This is a fact, absolute fact. This is right out of their own mouths. Well, what's happening now is, in a similar fashion, the old world, the world that was created by the Reps and the Greys and the Orion group and some of the Nephilim and the Anunnaki, that system is collapsing. And the reason it's collapsing is it no longer has the support of the people. Okay? We are shifting. Our consciousness is changing, and the system that we've been living under, which has enslaved us, we no longer support. We are looking in other directions. We are trying to create something different. And what's happening is what was made, which they thought was ironclad because they were controlling the minds of the masses, that no longer is in existence. So what's happening now is that it's crumbling because it was never real to begin with. It was never something we all agreed to do or we all agreed upon. All right? It was a manipulation. And those never last. They never ever last. They always come down. And that's what you're seeing. It's coming down. And what's happening is that there's this gap is being created of what we knew and what we don't know. And okay, and what we don't know, what's there is what's possible. We just have to somehow figure out, and I don't know if we're going to get assistance. I don't know how this part happens. We have to get from the loss of what we did know to all the possibilities. We have to fill in that gap. And what's important, which is imperative, and if you remember early on, when I first talked about this, when they talked about intervention, this is going back 25 years ago, that one of the things that was imperative was, by the benevolence, is that whatever intervention they give us, it has to somehow empower us. You see, that's this gap. How do we fill this gap with or without assistance? And it empowers us so that we leave this old shit way behind, that it doesn't happen again, that it doesn't circle back and come back to today, okay? That we leave it behind once and for all. That's the key here, folks. That's the key. This is where you know, humanity grows into maturity. And that maturity is not only you know, becoming a holistic and responsible partner with the planet, but it also has to do with becoming a responsible being with ourselves and connecting to God, to isness, to the Great Spirit, whatever term you use, connecting to that and pulling that light down here so that it fills with light, our light, and we move 3 to 4 to 5. I don't know how this is supposed to play out. I know that's the plan. What I just laid out for you is the plan. But I don't know each individual step that fills in that gap to get us from what we do know, which is falling apart, to what's possible. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of change. That's big time shifts. And not everybody's going to be ready for it, or is even going to be mature enough to deal with it. But you know, what's important is that everybody stay grounded, and not only grounded, but be the observer. Only put your frequency, your energy, your focus where it serves you, okay? Where it serves your interest and it's what you want. That's the key here. We cannot support a system that is a total manipulation, okay? And that tells you everything about the difference between the light and the dark, okay? The light is going to say, look, this is what it is, this is what it can be, but you got to go there. If you want assistance, ask, okay? The dark side, guys, we got it for you. This is going to be perfect. You come on down here, beach, suntan oil, drinks, open bar. We got it all for you. All you got to do is give us your soul. You know, that's the difference. Because freedom breeds freedom. Freedom breeds joy. Freedom breeds prosperity. Slavery breeds despair. End of story. It's the same everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? The only ones who win are the slave owners. They're the only ones who win. And in the end, they end up getting it they end up getting it in the end anyway. Okay? But the despair that is created is horrific. Just so that they can have their moment of glory and power. That's just not okay. It's just not okay. Here's a really good question. What could be done about the semi-regressives who are targeting people with scalar wave torture, etc.? You know, that's a good question. I have, over the years, gotten emails from people who are contactees, but in a very regressive, negative way. And I have always passed forward their names, where they live, if I know, and what's going on with them. And any description that I have of the group that is doing this to them, I've always passed it on to the A's. And my understanding is that some people have been assisted, but the A's, but Mornay and Mornay than Faseus. If certain individuals were connected to certain groups like Pleiadians or Plagiarians or Aldebarans or Lyrans, Cirrus A, etc., they would move the information to them, all right, so that they could assist with their lineage, their bloodlines. And I guess that's the protocol up there in a situation like this. That's the protocol. And I don't know what's happened after that.
Alex.
Let me just finish this point, JP.
No problem.
But to those of you who are experiencing this, you need to understand clearly the reason they're picking on you is because you are more powerful than they are. And they are feeding off of you. They are feeding off of you because they're cowardly. And you can and you have the power to stop it yourselves. Don't be afraid to do whatever it is that you have to do to protect yourself. Okay? I hopefully will have more information if there's more to do about that particular thing. Those of you, who have asked me for help. I'm working it, and I'm working it as fast as I can. Okay. Okay.
Alex, that's a really valuable points that you've just made, because obviously as a radio host, and I speak to people like yourself and Simon Parks and all the other contactees, and everybody's being bothered by reptilians and stuff like that. Now, the way I approach it now with a slightly different approach to, I'll see how I can help by reminding them that they're ninjas, and that you only become a ninja through ninja training, and that a lot of the experiences that they've had in their lives can be regarded as a training rather than as a victim thing. And it seems to work a little better. Go ahead.
If they already have seventh density knowledge in their head, if they're already wired for it, okay, then they have the abilities to thwart this. They just don't remember.
Exactly.
The key to taking advantage of someone is to disempower them first. Make them believe that they are less than what they are. Okay, folks, you're already Jedi. You are already Jedi. Don't take the shit from them. Just know what you know. Oh, God. I do a lot of travel at night, where I leave my body and I travel and I go different places, and I don't look for trouble, but I no longer run from it either. And I use light, and I use the tools that I have, and I mean, if you want to come at me, okay, fine. Let's get down. Let's just get down, because in that realm, we're the same. And I know what I know. You don't have to back down. You don't. You are already Jedi. Just know this. Know this about yourself. Fill yourself with this light that you already are. Okay? If anybody is in your life that disempowers you, cut them loose. Cut them loose. Cut them loose. Okay? Because they're not serving you. They're not serving you. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
Don't apologize. That's not the truth, Alex.
I mean that. I mean that with all my heart and all my soul. You don't have to take shit from anyone. You just don't. So don't. Don't. Okay?
What might the mentoring look like, and how might we use it to benefit humanity? And is the mentoring primarily on the astral plane, physical contact, or both?
Okay. A lot of mentoring has been going on the spiritual plane, the astral plane. And for those of you who travel out of your body and go to different places and go to school. Okay, unless you've actually experienced that, most people who haven't experienced that in any way, shape, or form wouldn't have a clue as to what we're talking about. But that is in fact happening. And essentially what it is just the information that people are getting on those levels is current stat and what to do and how to react when certain events occur, okay? And at this point, everything is event-based. Because that's just the best way to do this operation at the moment. To plan things out and to funnel your intel to different sources, that hasn't worked because there's been so much betrayal. And there's been torture of other contactees to get information. Horrible things have happened. The capturing of souls and put on a gray mothership to try to take them out of here, who all had information, those kind of things, they had to stop because I think what happened was the benevolence, they forgot that the bad guys, they don't play by any rules. So they're not making those mistakes anymore. So now things are event-based, which is why many of us don't have any recognition of what we're being taught. We may have glimpses, but the harder stuff is very deep inside to be triggered. As far as a physical mentoring, my understanding is that once they have made themselves known, they will, for a while, allow humanity to get used to the presence of them. Because the dark side, the cabal that's left here, they will, of course, to maintain their power and control, will try to make everybody fearful. This is an invasion, yada, 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 okay? And it's nothing but the sort. We've already been invaded. The enemy's been here for some time already. So, at some point there will be contact. And at this particular time, I'm not sure how it's going to happen, but what they will do is they will share knowledge. They will share the history of our race on the earth. They will share spiritual realities that coincide with the history of the human race on earth. And they will also share the idea that we have significant technology already on the planet, some hidden and some not, some in plain sight, that if tweaked can be used to do things in a different way. And this will, of course, create some pride. This will create some self-empowerment in humanity. And it's going to be gradual. And that's the way to do it, because they have to get this right, and they want to get this right. But all of their actions will depend on how we react to their presence. They're not going to come down and just do what the Anunnaki did and say, okay, we're here. This is what you have to do. Here, I'll show you how to do it. This is what it is. And then we create a cult and then a religion. They're not going to go down this road, okay, because that has retarded humanity's spiritual growth for over 400 years now, okay? And we're like a bunch of cupcakes. It's ridiculous. So that isn't going to happen. But, that's changing every day because more and more people are waking up. More and more people are making the decision to create the future they want. And in doing that, they're creating our future. So, it's in flux. This is all in flux. There is no hard one way to do anything at this point, which is great because we are all extremely resourceful, and there's a million ways to do something. and all get to the same place. You know, the path less traveled, the path of least resistance. You know, we're all trailblazers. We're all founders. Okay, we're all founding fathers and mothers of the new human race, every single one of us. Okay, and that means that you are hacking your way through the weeds to get to a specific place and to show others how to get there. Okay, so know that you're all founding fathers and founding mothers of the new humanity. Okay, and that date's to be determined.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it insightful, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future updates. If you have any questions relating to today's video, please also leave them below. We read all the comments and take on board what our viewers have to say about Alex Collier's work. Remember, your support helps Alex Collier's knowledge and the messages from the Andromedans reach more people. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can give us a super thanks tip by clicking the heart icon with a $sign. It really helps our team bring you more content. Also, be sure to visit alexcollier.org to sign up for our regular email newsletter. It's the best way to stay updated with the latest news, exclusive content, and upcoming live webinars. For the latest insights from Alex Collier, check out alexcollier.live. And if you want to explore over 250 past webinars, head over to alexcollier.tv. Thank you for being a part of this journey and supporting Alex Collier's work. We couldn't do this without you, and we're genuinely grateful for your support. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the vast mysteries of our universe. If you would like to see the Andromedan contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we hold a live online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org.